pastor said that 2021 is going to be about faith and
Obedience.
obedience.
That's it.
Well,
Somebody read the grass, okay. That's it.
Well, at least you know you're still awake.
That's it.
So as long as you give me that, I know I can go on. Well, so of course I want to talk about faith, which is something I think we all are familiar with, and at some points of our lives we have struggled with.
well,
No matter how long you've been in the house of the Lord and prayed, we all find ourselves at some point or another where we are questioning our faith in something or in someone or in our situation.
well,
But there's only one person that we can ever pray to, that we know for certain,
No,
beyond a shadow of a doubt, is going to be there for us.
all right.
well,
I personally think that one of the things that has happened, at least in my life, is that I seem to put my faith in everything else. So today I want to speak on faith in the right thing.
All right, that's good. That's good.
So many of, I used to be younger and wilder. I was in the Navy, so I racked it up to I was allowed to be. I always knew who the Lord was. I always knew about prayer, I always knew about scriptures, but I think Pastor had hit on it a couple of Sundays ago, though, that I didn't know about the faith of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to carry that with me in my day-to-day. But I knew about the Bible, I knew about the Lord, I knew all the stories. So, sometimes in the military or in your own surroundings of your job or your home or whatever, you get busy in life and you kind of start to, what we say earlier, backslide?
That's right, that's what it
You
is.
kind of start taking a backslide because we're letting everything else that's going on with us currently take precedence over what we know in our hearts should be the number one thing. So I drank, I smoked, I cursed like a sailor. I did everything that I was supposed to do because of where I was. And I tried to work hard. I tried to make sure that my uniform was always pristine. I tried to make sure that I knew the rules of that game that I was in. I always tried to make sure that because I was a woman and because I was of color, it was already a challenge when I walked through the doors.
All right.
But then when I got to a position of authority, it was really hard because all this time it had always been a man's navy. So now here comes a woman of color and is in charge. So it was already a recipe for kind of some disaster, or so I thought. But I worked hard. I stuck with it for 20 years, so I worked hard.
Oh, yeah.
I earned my place.
well,
And I didn't sometimes care about how I did it. You know, I didn't care. I said what I had to say and I meant what I said. So follow my order and do that.
All right.
We don't need no other discussion, was my philosophy in my head. But I didn't make a lot of friends that way. But I got a lot of respect from the higher ups, and that's what I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
So there's a test process that you have to take when you're in the military in order to advance to the next level.
Promotion, yeah.
And you will stay in that position, taking that same test until you pass it. It's kind of the same way I learned later on about the Lord. That no matter what you do in life, it is a test.
Everyone.
And you will keep getting that same test. It may not look the same. It may not even feel the same.
Right.
But there is something in that test that is similar that you must pass.
All right.
There's something out of that lesson in life that you have to get in order to move on to the next chapter of your life, which cannot be compared to anybody else's. Your journey in life is your journey in life.
Right.
When they say that you can't get up there, you know, well, he was a good person, Lord. Yes, he wasn't. Lord ain't gonna ask me about my husband,
Sure enough.
my kids. Lord not gonna ask me about that. He's gonna ask me about me.
All right. That's it.
So in the military, I got to this point where I was eager for this next position. I mean, I was in it to win it. I mean, I thought that I had done all the extra jobs. I had all the seniors praising me and seeking me out for my knowledge and my ability to do my job.
That job, yeah.
To do that job. And then when it came time to take the test, I'm like, yes, okay, ooh, yes. I have studied. And we'll say for you all, I missed it by 3 points.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not so bad, okay. My pride's still there. I will 6 months later, I'm studying again.
Do it again.
Well, wait a minute. Now I done joined up, and it's not just me studying. I'm with the study team. I got notes everywhere. What's wrong? What's going on? Test results come back, and I miss it by 2 points. Now at this point, my mother is kind of teasing me. It's like a family joke. She's like, I guess you want to just figure out how many times you can take the test and get just so close, but not make it. I'm like, well, okay. So the third time, I have a Jeopardy game thing on the computer. I have charts. I have index cards. I'm a part of a study group. I'm wake up, study, go to sleep thinking about it. Put it under my pillow, at work, walking around with index cards. Every time I have a chance to stand, I'm studying. And don't you know it? I missed that test that time, the third time, by 1. So at this point, I'm down in the admin office trying to figure out, is there a point somewhere that y'all overlooked in my service record? I know it's got to be in there. How about all this good work I do for y'all, that somebody write me an award real quick that count for some points so I can get this right here. Y'all know I deserve it. I'm already working according to that position, or so I thought. Now the moral of this story for me now is not I took the test. It's about where my faith was.
Yeah.
Well,
Correct.
My faith was in my ability. My faith was in the Jeopardy game to teach me something. My faith was in, I thought that I was doing a good job for everyone, and they surely would advance me. Or if I didn't pass the test, they would surely do something to help me. Not even the commanding officer of my ship, which he could have written something and backdated it for me to get that point, didn't. So there's all my faith in all the wrong things, all of the wrong people, in myself alone, thinking that someone owed me something, thinking that I had worked so hard that I just deserved it. But it was my faith in the Lord that I didn't have. I didn't pray not one time. Not one time. It slipped my mind to even pray because I was just so busy about learning and knowing the material. Knowing that I only had 3 hours to take this test of 200 questions. And it's my life. You know what I mean? It's my life. And I didn't pray now. I don't think I did. I don't think I prayed one time. But I tell you then, on the 4th time,
That's it. Yes, sir.
I was quiet. I was by myself. I wasn't a part of no study group. I turned out, the computer Jeopardy thing was cool. It was cool, but it was old and it wasn't what I needed. And I really prayed. I really, I felt like I was at an end. I have seen other people that I deemed, in my mind, unworthy of the position, at least over me, pass me by. Had been in less years than I had, and they passed me by. Sometimes you have to remember to have faith in the right thing. It's nice to have faith in yourself. It's nice to have confidence in your abilities. But if you don't have faith in the right things, you let your faith rest on people around you, you are going to find yourself highly disappointed. And I speak from sheer experience. But on that 4th time I took that test, I prayed. I prayed a mighty hard. I prayed and prayed. I think I might have cried at my table right before the test. I was like, oh Lord Jesus. Oh Lord, please be here. Please be here. I opened up that test, the first page. I said, I had to close the back up. I said, I think I got the wrong test. It said my job rate on there. I prayed again, and I passed the test. many people in the Bible who struggled with their faith. People that you would never even suspect that even had a moment of where they had a question or a doubt or a concern or I don't know, just who was it who denied that they were even a friend of Jesus?
Right.
Who was Thomas?
Oh, he doubted.
What did he doubt? There was many people who doubted.
Many.
People who have been given an assignment and too afraid. Myself. This past week has been a doozy for me. And it's not like this is my first time speaking.
Hello.
But I tell you what, I feel like I was running from the moment the pastor told me that I was going to speak on this day. It's been like
It happens.
what did you say? How they leap from how
Them demons
leap? I mean, they was doing the running man in my house. You're like, where are we going now? I was like, I don't know where you're going, but I'm going out on the patio where the Lord is.
Where we doing next?
You can stay in there, demon. I cracked the patio door and you still didn't. All right, I'm staying out here. It's all about faith. And I think that a lot of the time we lose our way with that. We want things now. We want things to work out the way that we want them to work out. We want what we want. We need this, we need that. And are people really stopping to pray? Are people really stopping to pray? We want our young folks to come up into this church. But why? Are we going to slow down enough so that they can catch up? You got somebody, say, who doesn't even know anything about Jesus walking into the house of the Lord, and they're already terrified.
Already scared.
They're already scared. They're already terrified. But if we don't bring it down a notch so that people can understand, just like Pastor said, to have somebody that's standing up that doesn't look like their testimony, but can share with you the truth as they see it and how it's worked out for them. My story is my story. How it worked out for me is how it worked out. But I'm trying to tell you, without having to scrape your knees or to suffer as much maybe as I did through certain things, to take what you learn here and think about it in your life. I leave you this challenge, if you will, for just a second. Let me take you on your own mental journey. Well, think about, honestly, in your own mind, the things that you've had to endure throughout your life up to this point. Think about all the things that you thought were going to happen, but didn't happen. Think about all the times you cried, all the times you wanted or needed, but you didn't get it. Think about that time when you had to pay a bill and you didn't know where the money was going to come from.
Well, how many times?
Think about somebody that you cared for or loved who was sick, or maybe even yourself. Remember those moments. And the reason why I say remember those moments is because I want you to realize that that time has already passed. And where are you today? You're still here.
That's it.
You are healed. You're not sick. That bill got paid.
Yes.
Sure did.
You got what you needed.
Yes.
It may not have been on your time.
Yes. Amen.
But it did happen. And I keep saying I think. That's the Lord calling, saying it's time to go, huh?
That's it.
Pastor, you set that up.
You got it.
Maybe make your phone ring this time so you know to wrap it up. I'm rapping. I know that's what you did.
Okay.
I like to say this though, is that we get so stuck in what has happened.
That's it.
We get stuck in the pain of what has happened. We get stuck in our frustrations about what we didn't get, what we think we're missing. Now, I don't know about you, but what I know in my experience is that God doesn't make any mistakes.
None, not one,
He
not yet.
does not
Not
make
yet.
a single
Not yet.
solitary mistake. Just like when I didn't pass that test.
Well,
I could have gotten frustrated. I could have gotten down on my luck and said, you know what, the heck with it. I ain't even gonna study no
That's
more.
right. Forget it.
But I
Well-
stayed with it.
well,
Even though I wasn't praying before, I knew enough inside of me to know that, you know what, okay, obviously something's going on here. Yeah, maybe I didn't know what it was, there was something going on. But the challenge for you is to remember those times they did pass.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
So, why is it that when we get ourselves into a situation to where we don't think we can see an end,
well,
we get panicked?
yes,
We
well,
start running around with our heads cut off.
yes,
We start calling up friends. The first person you want to call is your friend. First person you want to tell is your buddy or a family member or
All
something
right,
like that. We
all
put
right.
all our trust in our friends and our family members and anybody that will listen to what we got to say that will agree with us that we ain't crazy for thinking that way. We put our faith in everything. We put our faith in television. We put our faith in
Well,
these actors and actresses
Sure
and
do.
movies and everything else and what little Timmy around the corner had to tell you. We put our faith in everybody else and everything else
well,
but ourselves and the Lord.
All right.
well,
That's good.
So remember where you were and think about where you are
You are
today.
now, right now.
You're breathing, you're healthy, it's over, you got through it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk on tomorrow and you run into a problem, then you remember today.
That's it. That's it.
Well,
Sure enough.
The Lord didn't leave you all those other times before, did he?
That, come on.
He made a way for you all those other times, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Because you were still walking around here thinking,
Yes, he did.
blinking and breathing, weren't you?
Yes, he did.
So stop. We've got to stop and we've got to teach our children that just because you get a bad report card doesn't mean that's the end of the world.
well,
Stop condemning your children for getting a bad mark in school, but encourage them
All right,
to
do
go
better.
back to school
Do
tomorrow and do better than what they
Better.
did the day before. Faith is the fundamental aspect of it all.
well,
It is the healing power. It is the grace and mercy that we all deserve. We were made in his image. Pastor already said that the Lord did not make us for us to suffer.
No,
Well,
he didn't.
But we do that to ourselves. And then we want to call on him
That's
for
all,
help.
guys. There you go. You
He's
preaching
like,
that
well,
one.
okay, I'm gonna be here, but I mean, look, really? That ain't my way.
You preaching now.
But I'll fix it for you again.
Mm-hmm.
And again and again. How many friends do you have that would even keep helping as many times as the Lord helps?
well,
How many people would have left you a long time ago? And every time you ran to a problem, you turned in, hey, you're like, well, I can't even do my business because I'm always working on yours. But the Lord is that talented and he loves that great that he was working with all of us simultaneously.
yes,
Of all the things to have faith in, why do we put our faith in such things that have no power to make a difference in our situation?
Right,
Well-
exactly right.
You calling a friend about a bill you got, they got bills, they ain't got no money.
They sure enough.
But you calling your friend and like, oh, like what they gonna do? But tell you, hey, I got this car, I got this credit card bill too, girl, I know how you feel.
Sorry.
It's just two people on the phone talking sorrow.
That's
well,
it. Same
But
old
nobody's got a plan on how to fix it. Not one person said, hey girl, let's crack open your Bible to this and let's pray about it so that we both can get healed. Who does that? You wondering why these kids are out here running them up? It's not because mothers started, or women, kids started having kids. It's because we've lost our way and we've lost what we should have faith in.
All right, sure enough.
So I'm going to leave you on that word. To always remember the journey that you have taken that has gotten you to this place that you are in today. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. If the Lord didn't want you here, you would not be here. I would not be
You
here.
be
And
gone.
I trust and rest assured.
You be
That
out
car accident that I had no for. The police, the paramedics, the hospital, everybody. They had them crooked scissors. I just bought this. Can I take it off? They like, no, when you come into the ER, we gotta cut your clothes off. I'm like, dang, I just bought this shirt. But the Lord didn't want me gone.
Well,
No, at that time.
No one could understand it, only my mother could, because she knew. And she had faith that when the Lord woke her up in the middle of the night and told her to pray,
Start praying.
and she didn't know why,
Yeah, start praying.
she still started praying.
Start praying.
The power of a praying parent
yes.
saved my
I
life.
mean, yes, it did. Yeah.
It was my mother's faith.
Oh, yeah. Same two guys.
It was my mother's faith that saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Because during that time, I'm telling you, I was shaking and baking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was doing everything I could to be a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
So remember your beginning. Always remember. The heartache stories are the stories to remind you of the faith that you should have. The memories of your hardships shouldn't be just looked at as memories of hardship. They should be looked at as memories of what the Lord can do.
Boy, and what he has done. What he has done, yeah. That's good. Hey, you good?
I'm good. I told you I'm good. She said no more alarms for me.
Yeah, she listens sometimes. She listens. And that's so good. Thank you so much. That's good. Come on, faith in the right thing. Come on, y'all. Open the doors of the church. But let me share something. You know, I've seen people that God have healed from stage 4 cancer. I mean, 10 years ago, God had healed them from stage 4 cancer. And now all of a sudden, they got a headache. And they called, oh Lord, I need your help. Now wait a minute. You done forgot about what you done 10 years ago. Man, you really had a problem. And now you let the devil come and tell you you finna die because you broke your fingernail. Faith and the right thing. And that's why I think we talk about this week, this year. Everybody gonna get some faith this year. Everybody gonna get some. Everybody. We got to learn to walk by faith and not by sight. Let us all stand. Let us all stand.